maybe Death's not actually coming for our family. Because that would be crazy.
I must have been about 15 years old when Final Destination first came out, and it was a fun thrill ride filled with some recognizable faces like the guy from Dawson's Creek, the other one from Idle Hands. But the formula, it's all about the formula with Final Destination. It started where you have a premonition at the beginning of the film, save a bunch of people's lives, then everyone gets killed, and then at the very end, we get a nice cheeky little death just before the credits begin. X amount of years, and 5 films later, we now have Bloodlines, which is a much better title than Final Destination 6. This time around, we follow a survivor's granddaughter, who's suddenly having these reoccurring nightmares about her nana dying in this crazy set piece. By the way, at the end of the review, I'll rank the deaths in this film in order. But anyway, back to these nightmares. I'm just wondering, why does this girl have to scream every time she wakes up from this supposed nightmare? Surely she should be used to it by now. So she leaves university to find her grandma and work out what's going on. When she eventually sees her grandmother, who lives in a secluded and boarded off area, we find out that Death is still after her.
I saved a lot of lives that night.
Everyone needs to get off the dance floor!
Lives that were never meant to be saved.
She hands her granddaughter this book showing the ways that death can kill you.
This book, it will show you everything you need to know to keep our family safe.
And then pow! The deaths commence. What I liked about the book is that it connects all the other previous Final Destination films and just sets out Death aiming to kill all these people because the grandma saved them. So for decades, Death has been working its way through all of the survivors and even their bloodline because they weren't supposed to exist.
All started with Grandma. Death is coming for us because we were never supposed to exist.
Yeah, that exactly like that, exactly. And I thought this concept was great. It sets up for the rest of the movie. Can they actually cheat Death? And I've got to be honest, I really did enjoy this movie. It's one of the strongest in the Final Destination anthology. Probably second strongest behind the first one. Now, when it comes to actors in the Final Destination world, generally we're left with actors you'll never see again. And this brings the budget down for starters, and the emphasis of these films can be put on the set pieces. And Final Destination 6, aka Bloodlines, has plenty of these. And I really appreciated some of these creative ideas, which at one point had me gasping.
Oh, Jared Benbury?
It was so funny, but also so brutal. Like, I would recommend this film if you like all-out gore, or you're into the franchise.
Good luck.
Let's talk about Tony Todd, Mr. Candyman, and the way his character is explained. Oh my! Things start to make a little bit of sense, because he's the kid that's saved by the grandma at the beginning of the film. And we'll never be able to see this guy be killed in the film, so he's survived. He's one of the 3 survivors, I guess, when it comes to Final Destination. I'm sure there's more. Please, if there are more survivors, correct me in the comments, seriously. But now let's go into the ranked Final Destination deaths in Bloodlines. And at number 7 is the dad and the lawnmower. I mean, mostly we've seen this in the trailer. Starts with the glass, in the glass, and then it ends up with the dad getting a lawnmower over his face. So that death has already been given to us. Wasn't that shocking? It seemed quite funny though. And I wouldn't say my next one, the grandma being impaled, was funny. It was kind of like, wow, that is straight in your face. And then we got to go one above that, which is the mum who gets crushed by that pole. She's like mid-sentence, as if she's in Deep Blue Sea with Samuel L. Jackson. Number 4, I'm going to give it to the Skyline set piece, which was cool. It was brutal. It was all out. And that's where we come onto the MRI machine. Great set piece, because when you've got that kid with all those piercings, this MRI machine has this magnetic pulse that's getting more and more powerful. And this kid, he's got one of those Prince Alberts, and that is so funny. The other brother's got a nut allergy, and he needs to get the injection to make himself feel better. My second favourite death in Final Destination was the brother and sister. Final Destination 2 had those logs, and that log scene is insane. I'd probably put it as one of the best Final Destination deaths in the whole franchise. It's up there in the top 5. I'd have to go and do some research on it. But we get the logs again, right at the very end, crushing the brother and sister. It's hilarious. What an ending. But my favourite death was the dumpster truck. And our main character sees her cousin and thinks, oh my god, things are bad. We can see that person playing football. There's somebody with a blow machine. Everything connects together. Watch out. And he's like, nah, don't worry about it. But the sister, she comes out and she starts running down whilst they're having a nice little conversation. And boom, the football gets kicked. She falls into the dumpster. The dumpster truck puts her into the crushing thing. And everyone's like, oh my god, we gotta save her. They're trying to knock on the window, but he's busy. He's on like Tinder or something, just trying to swipe away, listening to his music on headphones. He's doing all the wrong things you should do as a driver when we get to see this girl get crushed. Like her cousin's holding onto her arm. There's like blood fucking, oh, it's grim. And it's absolutely hilarious. It's a laugh right, this film. And if you've seen Final Destination Bloodlines, where would you place it in your rankings of the best Final Destination movies? And what did you think of the dumpster truck scene? What was your favourite death from the film? Leave your comments down below. Go watch this film, and I'll see you in the next one.